going into our baseball on Monday, though, Brett, we talked about the Mets a little bit here. And I do feel a little bit guilty, Brett, because I did hop in the rundown first, so I'm going to be the one that's betting on this Mets Nationals game. And I'm taking the Mets at a juicy minus 115. I really like those odds right now on Sunday night for Monday's game. It's an early start, 1 p.m. local time game, 10 a.m. start for me. You're going to have Trevor Williams on the mound for the Mets facing off against Patrick Corbin. And personally, I've made a lot of money betting against Patrick Corbin. At least earlier on in the year, especially I did. He is 7 for 14 on the year, not winning a lot of his games. Trevor Williams, not necessarily the most confident or most gratifying arm on the mound that gives you the most confidence. But I'm going to back these Mets bats that seem to have woken back up a little bit on the East Coast, especially against a Washington team that's at the bottom of the NL East. Their season's done, but the Mets may still be trying to fight for something, but they need these early September wins, right, Brett?
Yeah, Mets definitely need to be winning these games. Patrick Corbin's had a really bad year for the Nationals. And they're still paying him a lot of money. No Strasburg for the Nationals. They obviously traded away Scherzer. So this is not the year they anticipated in Washington. Higgins. It's all been bad. Mets blew him out on Sunday. So I am a little nervous that, maybe Washington has some fight left, just some pride. But yeah, I would definitely be on the Mets side in this one. But I can't bet it because our pillars, Higgins, and I need the Mets to win these games for my mental health. So no way I'm no way I'm jinxing the Mets like that.
No way you're breaking those pillars, but I'm just going to let you be a fan for Monday. You don't have to risk your money and maybe be doubled down. And the Mets, though, on the series against the Washington Nationals this year, Brett, they're 11-7, and this is the final time these two teams are playing each other in the regular season. I think the Mets are going to steal it. They're going to get the win and take this final series 2-1.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Higgins. I wouldn't even really read too deep into the series matchup all year because a lot of those games were played with completely different teams. Scherzer, DeGrom, Trey Turner was on the field.
Hmm.
No Javi Baez as well. So just really different looking baseball teams right now at this point in the season. But another team that's competing in the NL East, Higgins, the Philadelphia Phillies. And they have a Cy Young candidate in Zach Wheeler. He's on the mound tomorrow against Brandon Woodruff. Woodruff's been great for Milwaukee, Higgins, but he hasn't been Cy Young good. That's Corbin Burns. And Philadelphia plus 140 with their best pitcher on the season. Some people would say Aaron Nola might be their best pitcher. Not this year. It's Zach Wheeler. Plus 140, that's too big of a line, Higgins. This is not one I'm beyond confident about or anything like that, but Philadelphia in this game should be no bigger than plus 110 dogs, I think. So the plus 140, that's too much. That's like 30 cents too much, in my opinion. So I'm going to hop all over that and root against my Mets a little bit, I guess.
I I get your thought process there. I believe a little bit more in Brandon Woodruff. He has eased back since the All-Star break, since the trade deadline. Hasn't been that Cy Young potential pitcher that he was in the first half of the season. But Brandon Woodruff still has been very good for the Brewers. And I think that the minus 150, minus 140 that you're seeing at the money line currently on Sunday night, depending on the book, that's about right for me. So I'm actually including the Brewers in a money line parlay, Brett. I'm doing a three-leg parlay. I'm backing Woodruff with the Brewers against the Phillies. I'm backing the Red Sox, who has Chris Sale on the mound, 3-0, has been great since really returning and having his short season with the Red Sox this year. He's always wearing that daddy long neck cutoff. I don't know if you've seen that under his jersey, but he's wearing a hilarious print shirt, and it's been giving him some luck. He's 3-0, including one of those games against the Rays. Meanwhile, Ryan Yarbrough has not had fantastic success against the Red Sox this year. He's 1-2. And then the last game that I'm going to be picking is the Giants against the Colorado Rockies. They're going to be in Colorado, but the Giants have Kevin Gausman on the mound, and he has been lights out. 12-5 record so far for the San Francisco Giants with Kevin Gausman. I think he's going to get that one. Combining all three of those together, I get a plus 325 parlay around there, depending on what books you're looking at and what odds you get for each of those three.
Yeah, well, Higgins, I just really want to point something out quickly, just so to bring it to your knowledge too, right? But more so for our listeners. Um, you beat me to the rundown today, so we're using the Oregon lines here, and I'm obviously a very fortunate person where I have a good buddy in Oregon who's not betting on the Philadelphia Phillies, so he can probably place that bet for me. But in New Jersey, Higgins, Philadelphia plus 125 right now. So essentially half. Like, so
Yeah,
I found some value and I took it. Basically an example of line shopping, Higgins. I found a book that clearly doesn't value the Phillies the same way the state of New Jersey does. And maybe that part of that's our proximity to Philadelphia. You have to weigh a little bit of that, but some of that might just be a bad line.
absolutely. Or maybe the line is trending towards the way that you were saying, and maybe you are just taking a sharp line at this because who knows where it's going to be at on Monday morning when we wake up. Baseball looking interesting, though, as we're coming down this September stretch, Brett. We have some other games that are going to be of interest. I'm not looking at them right now. I may be looking at them later on Monday night, though. Games like the Seattle Mariners against the Houston Astros, or maybe even the Dodgers Cardinals. I like both those games, so those are both going to be on my radar, I think. But I like the picks that we've given out so far. I think that's what we're going to stick with for podcast picks for the MLB.